Hello, everyone, and welcome to light language number 32, the first spark. What is ready to begin? Today builds on conversations we've been having since February related to fire horse energy. That being said, you do not need to have watched all of those shows or any of them to join us. We're going to be exploring what may be asking for our attention through three anchors: spark, container, and the first step. So light language can be felt more than understood. So come curious and notice what captures your attention. JJ and I are looking forward to having you join us. Thank you, everybody, for being here. JJ, you are muted. No, you are no longer muted.
Are you?
JJ. Yeah. That is exactly how we are. I have to say, JJ, the last time we did a light language show, when we were finished, we were talking about what do we want to discuss for light language number 32.
Yeah.
And you paused for a second, like you often do, and went, oh, you know what? I'm going to actually go. This is exactly what JJ said. It was like going something about fire and starting something new. And so here we are. We're talking about fire and starting something new, especially around the energy that we've been talking about since February because of that fire horse energy.
Yeah.
Fire horse energy needs a container, so it just doesn't burn everything down. It also, needs we are reminded of we can get overwhelmed with all of this energy. And we just have to identify what's the next single step. This amazing person that is on screen with me is JJ from Tutah Speaks. I am TarotStache. Thank you for being here. I did coordinate my shirt with my little card. Totally did that. All of our links are in the description, and please do us the favor and like the video, subscribe to our channels, as well as if you finish watching this and you go, so-and-so might like this, share this with them, but don't just send it to them blindly. Send it to them with a little note that says, hey, this part of this reminded me of you, or it might be helpful to you. So, JJ, can you let us know what's going on for you?
Sure. First of all, look at all these light language people in the comments. I've met some of them.
Do you want to say hi to them?
Yeah, let's say hi to them.
Because we have Kaylee, Fogo Pogo.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah has joined us.
Hello, Sarah.
Nalani.
Hello, Hypnicity.
D Painless.
Oh, cute kitty.
Care Bear.
She has a light language.
And Stardust 315.
Hello, Stardust.
Tom, Time to Transcend, is here.
Hi, Tom.
Lakeside Laura is here. Hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura. Look at that. Is that a sound bowl? Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We also have, Oh yeah, like and subscribe. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And and then we have Leah Omega is here. I
Hi.
do want to point out to everybody light language. Some people like the term. Some people, it makes the hair on the back of their neck stand up.
Yeah.
There's space for both and everything in between. So when
Mhm.
and JJ, I'm going to tell people what I think of when I think of light language, and even my computer is giving me a thumbs up. And I'm going to ask you to say what you refer to as light language, and then JJ is going to tell us all of the good stuff that she's got coming up.
Mhm.
I think for me, light language is an energy. It's a new way of capturing an understanding that may be difficult to express. It's not necessarily a vocal language, may not, and so it may be silent. It could be movement. Mine is partially symbols, and there's lots of room for many different things. So, yes. And what do you think about that?
I think when my language came out 11 years ago, and somebody said, "Oh, that's clearly light language," I'm like, "No, it's not." I don't know what light language is, but it's totally not light language. And so, yeah, I did struggle with the. I'm like, what qualifies as light language? You know, there's not light coming out of my mouth when I'm talking.
Yes.
Um, but dancing around with it for this long, I do love the term light language,
Mhm.
because it just finds this opening. For me, it's a sound, a movement, it's art, it's anything that finds the like a back door to healing. Like when you hear a song or look at a painting, and you just start to connect with your emotions. And it was an easy connect. And that's what I love about like the sound bowls and frequency. That's what I feel like light language is, that just finds a back door to open up emotions.
I like that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. We have um, you've got okay. Annie Bear has stopped by. Annie Bear is going to watch the replay, and Annie
Mhm.
Bear was just recently talking about some light language on her show today with Diane G.
Mhm.
And she had also mentioned something you very exciting that you have coming up, Jade.
Mhm. Yeah. Are you talking about the summit?
I am. I was trying to
Yeah.
talk about the summit, but
Yeah. If you go to my website, tutahspeaks.com, the first thing you'll see is a link for our light language summit. It's called Gathered in Light Language. And it's with me and the light language ladies, Danra, Summer, and Nina. And I got goosebumps. It's going to be August 6th, 7th, and 11th. Um, it is, we have so many things planned for those dates, but then we have some supplement things in between if you like need any extra support, or if you want to go further into what light language is for you.
mhm.
It's going to be really fun and creative. So yeah, so please register. It's there's a sliding scale, so the lowest price is 33 for the all 3 days and everything in between, for the support. And we're really looking forward to it. I want to go to it.
I
You
love.
know, like I want to go. Yeah.
I like it. And you call yourself the light language ladies.
I guess so. Well, I just was like, you're right. I haven't really met too many light language dudes.
Well, no, but I was just like going. I call them the light language quartet.
The quartet. Yeah,
Or
that is
quartet,
nice.
and
Yeah.
that's an interesting thing. We I wanted to, Care Bear said, light language is elevating and expanding the world to awaken us to remembering who we are.
I love that.
Thank you very much. I did put in your website, which
Mm-hmm.
is really powerful. Um, I asked JJ, I said, JJ, what are we going to talk about tonight? Because we're talking about the first spark, the what's ready to begin. And that's a spark, and we've got container, we have first step. And do you remember what you said, JJ?
Yes, I paused for a second and felt in my body what I wanted to do first, and it was to do a little relaxation exercise. Because here we are, for some of us, it's, the evening and we're winding our day down. And I would love to do a little bit of just kind of settling in our day, settling into ourselves, which I think would help us figure out what, the spark, the container, or the first step is.
And if you are able to do this safely, if you are listening whilst driving, please pay attention to what you're doing. And I'm going to put this in here because this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Really, JJ is going to do a bit of relaxation work with us.
Okay. So, wherever you are, even if you're driving your car, this part is for you. Just ask your body, what could I do with where I am? What can I do to shift my body to be more relaxed, whether I'm aware of it or I'm unaware of it? Just giving my body permission to relax. Mine's burping. So, that's apparently what I needed to do, was to burp.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You got to release the energy.
Okay. Threes. We're going to do this in threes. So, panu kama kunia patiana ma kuyewa. Finding ourselves right here where we are. We're going to call ourselves back 3 times. I call my full self back, my whole self back, into my body, into my space right now. I call myself, my whole self, back to my body right now. Calling all of me, my whole self, back into my space right here and right now. Seeing someone coming in with a broom that's going to be sweeping up any debris. Maybe those pieces that came back went through some mud puddles. Maybe they came out of trees and left branches and sticks. Maybe they came from space. Who knows where all of these pieces of us we sent out somewhere and they're coming back. I see a little sweeper coming up, and they're sweeping the perimeter around us, just making sure that our space is nice and clear. The debris is being swept away. Thinking about your body, and if you have any aches or pains, or your body's telling you one part is asking for a little bit more assistance, think about that area. Put your hands there if you want. I know for me it's ear pressure lately. So I'm asking my spirit team, Tutama Kumaku Shinama, the light language helpers, our helpers, if it is in our highest good, for them to come in and shed a little bit of light on these parts of us that would like more attention. Calling in our helpers, helpers, bringing attention to those parts of us. And one more time, just calling our helpers in closer and closer still, huddling up with our spirit team, all of them coming from a place of 100% divine light. Helping us put more attention to those places, give it some healing. Say, hi, I know something's going on with this body part. Maybe there's grief in my heart, pressure in my ears, a tight jaw from TMJ, internal. I allow myself to begin healing. I allow myself to begin healing. I allow myself to begin healing. Seeing serenity coming through our body as the light comes through the canopy of trees, or the light comes through the water when we're underneath the water swimming. Seeing this beautiful light coming through, and just bringing awareness, bringing some clarity to the inside of us. Thanking every organ, all of the systems of us for doing their jobs without us asking, without us even really understanding what some of the systems are inside our body. Thank you so much for showing up for us and letting us know that there's some issues we might want to pay attention to. Insert your own light language here, they say. Okay. And finding yourselves at home inside yourself. Now we can think about, what is it we'd like to spark? What would we like as a container for our spark? And what are our first steps?
Thank you for that, JJ.
You're welcome.
A few more people have joined us. Footprint Tarot has arrived. Jules learned to listen. Cat Lady. I've probably missed a few other people. My apologies. I was writing something down I wrote something down that relates to this, because this spark, that first spark, if you're building a fire, a spark is what you need. Then you need gentle breath in order to actually charge it and to try to make it stronger and stronger. What's really interesting is a spark. It's just a spark. It's not a bonfire. It's not a contract. It may need action. It may need protection. It also may need curiosity or simply permission to exist. as I think about that, for me, that's a really key thing. I think about a spark for me is oftentimes represented in the tarot as the Ace of Wands. It's that spark of a creative idea. It's the new idea. It's the new motivation. Here's the thing that I have to remember, and if your mileage may vary, just because I had the idea does not mean that I have to actually follow through with it and do all the things. I think so for me, that's a key thing. If I have all sorts of sparks going, in my mind, I'm suddenly going, oh, I've got to do that. I've got to do that. I've got to do that. That's going to be a great show. That's going to be a great project.
Mm.
I have to slow down. I actually have to put a container around that and go, wait a minute, wait a minute. Press pause, Gerald. It's okay. We drink from a drinking fountain instead of a fire hose.
Yeah.
You were thinking some stuff.
Yeah, I was writing it down. It said how you were talking about um, breathing and blowing into a spark and how that fuels it. The message I got was whisper on the spark.
Mm,
Whisper your dreams, your fears, your doubts. It all fuels the spark. It all goes into it.
I love that.
And I love the idea of um, also having the container when we're whispering those things on the spark as well, because it's private and it's sacred and it's a ceremony for you. It's not for the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that I think a lot of times for me with so much energy going on in the world, I know from watching several people that astrologically there's a lot of things going on in the world.
Hmm.
There's a lot of things going on in the 3D world in which we live. And trust me, when things are happening on multiple levels, sometimes it makes us go, "Whoa, it's really really loud right now." And as you said that, I think the whisper, if we can be quiet or turn the volume down a little bit, we may be able to actually hear the thing that brings us that spark of joy, that spark of inspiration, the first spark of something new,
Hmm.
and and to protect that and to lean into it a bit.
Yeah.
Um, we have Plucky Heroine has come in. It's good to see you, Plucky. Jules learned to listen. Love that. The process you did. And Kaylee said, not me listening to this with a to do list, a mile long of things I need to do.
Hey, we all love a good list.
I see you. I see you. But this isn't about being a list, is it?
Mm-mm. It's okay having the list though.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I love that because we were talking about action in the previous episodes. And if you have the doubts and you have the fears, like, I'm not sure how to make this dream happen with what's going on right now, like, there could be like a million reasons. And, but it's action. If you, like, for instance, if you have a stick, well, actually, I don't have a stick handy right now, but
You
I do
stunning
have this. I have these around my desk.
Okay.
Um, but if you, let's say, one day you're like, okay, I kind of know what this dream is that, I want to bring more into my life and what I want to do. But I'm I have this as doubts, and so you could just be like, think of like the next doubt, and then the next. And then something's holding on to your doubts for you, so you can release those into this. It doesn't mean like your doubts are gone. It's just that it lives here instead of inside of us.
Yeah.
So we can open up to more, okay, well, what are some other things that we might want to problem solve? What are some other doubts that want to come in? And then it's almost like opening up something instead of creating a dam. There's like action happening.
Mhm.
We're still flowing.
I like that because we are talking also about. I'm like going, oh, I have JJ's belches now.
You're
You know,
welcome.
hands up for people in the chat who have belched or watching the playback. But when we have that spark, it's an important thing to honor it and notice it.
Yeah.
And I am curious, people who are watching, what are ways that you honor and you notice those sparks? How do you do that?
Hmm.
And I mean, I know one of the ways that I do it, and this is me giving people time in order to write their comment in the chat. And I do think, but I will say, one of the great ways to honor that spark is to write it down and to bring it from this world and then actually put it down and to write it down. Simply capturing it validates it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about all of you, but one of the best things that I know I can do for others is to see them and recognize them and acknowledge them. So writing down this idea is a great thing. We have people who have answered. Gratitude for epiphanies. Gratitude glimmers are a very good thing. Jules said, I write them down or put them on the list. Imagine for a moment, but it would be like to start working on it and then say, no, wait, I have 20 other things ahead. I hear
Mm-hmm.
you. What about you? What do you do to honor that spark, the first spark?
Me? You're asking me?
I am asking you.
I usually buy everything that has to do with that spark that I'm actually going to do it professionally from Amazon. Because obviously I'm going to be really, really good at it.
I have never done that, JJ. I have never purchased the top line of anything.
Yeah, somebody called it like, I loved how they said it. It was like a hobby graveyard.
ADHD much? Yes, deeply.
Oh my God, totally. Oh my God, I have a professional button maker that I've never taken out of a box. I'll put it on my list.
There you go. Well, here's the thing. And Care Bear says journaling or recording my experiences in meditation and language translations.
Nice.
Yes. Journaling is a very helpful thing. So is a gratitude journal. Taking notes, putting them and collecting them. So now I have this hard question for you, JJ. Tell me when you're ready.
Is it about buttons?
It is not about buttons, but I do have an idea you could do with the buttons.
Okay.
What does this first spark have to do with light language?
Oh, okay. Okay. What does this have to do with light language? Again, I love the container. It's so interesting because I'm like, what container? Whatever. No, I need a container for my Amazon. But yeah, a container means that it's like I can crawl into this. I can crawl into this space that I call the container, and it's like it's a think tank. It's a safe place for me to reside while I'm um, resting up for the spark. I just love the idea of, because I'm so spacey, I love the idea of having a space with some walls, to be honest with you.
Boundaries are great.
Yeah,
They protect us. They allow something to actually catch fire.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's not really to contain the fire, it's like the way I look at it, it's again, it's like honoring your spark. I mean, I love the idea of those three things. So what would yours be?
I think a big thing for me is, how is that spark related to light language? The spark is what makes us curious. It's
Mm,
the thing that goes, look over here.
yeah.
And if we lean into that and we go, well, would you look at that? We don't have to follow that rabbit down that trail. We do have to, when we notice it, it allows all of our energy to be open to seeing things that we may not have seen before. And for me, this is very much why this is part of light language. Light language is that it's the different vibration access information, and it's a curiosity. And when I first spark, when I go, what is that? Oh, would you look at that? And then be able to go, well, now, isn't that interesting? What does, you know, could that complete a collection of things that I have been gathering that now that I have the full set, I can upgrade, so to speak? Uh,
Hmm.
and the first step, really, I think it's a very gentle thing, JJ, of we have to have a spark. We sort of have to go, all right, let's put this in a little container and let's put it in a petri dish and see what develops. And then we can take the first step
I
because
love it. Yeah.
I mean, purchase first, think later. Jules said, Plucky was just organizing my hobby graveyard. I started a sewing project calendar. Moira's here, as is Bernie, Bernie Girl. But I think that these are a nice build. I mean, to
Yeah.
me, it's like, okay, yeah, great. Let's see what happens with this spark. Given a little bit of protection and attention, and then go, does this need to? Is it time to do this or not?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm having all sorts of ideas over here. One was the when you said to be quiet to see if the answer comes, and I love being intentional with that because of ADD and how like I'll think of a million things and be so exhausted at the end of the day, but I didn't like do much physically. So
Mm-hmm.
I love the idea of just really being quiet and with the intention of it's okay if I don't hear anything about this, but
Yes.
what is what is my next step with this dream of mine? And
Mm-hmm.
perfectly okay, almost super welcome if nothing does come, because that would be different for me. It would be lovely to not have a bunch of things in my head. So,
Yeah.
yep, I love that idea. Um, I love the idea of community when it comes to these sorts of things, which we have a beautiful community here with our best chat. Not only are they the best chatters, they're all talking to each other here on the side, and they're all like, "How is this? How is that? How's the weather?" And here we are, all holding hands in this, all these spirit talks that we do, and a lot of
Yes.
us can't do that in our um, with the people in our lives.
Yeah.
Maybe,
In our
yeah,
local community. Yes.
yeah,
Well, and let's be honest, this great thing that you have coming up in August, remind us of the dates again, please.
yeah. August 6, 7. If anybody has any teenagers, 6, 7, and 11. August 6th, 7th, and 11th. If you go to TutahSpeaks.com and register, we have a beautiful Gathered in Light Language Summit where my big goal for having this was to find some of your community members, somebody that you can call up or email or text and just be like, this energy's whack a doodle today. Like, is this just me or is something going on out there that we don't know about? And it's really important to have those people on your side.
It really is.
Yeah.
Have fun at work, Chrissy. Um, it's also, I think it's also a great idea because that summit started as a spark, didn't it?
It did. It really did. Yeah, I met Danra. I don't know if all of you know Carol Lamb. She's a part of our community, and she heard Danra's light language and said, "Oh, you have to talk to JJ." And so I talked with Danra, and then I believe Danra is an activator of other people's light languages because
Mm.
then all of a sudden Danra's like, I've got this person, that person, this person, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, back in my day,
Oh,
it wasn't like this. So it's like I feel like it's happening faster for people. But through Danra, I met all of these other people, and that is really community is very helpful with sparks.
mhm.
Yeah.
Would you like to do some readings around the spark for people?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so let's put this up there, everybody. If you would like a reading related, a general reading around spark container and the first step, enter hashtag spark into the chat. You only need to do it once, and it will show up in when we use the giveaway tool. And so hashtag spark. And I see Bonzo is here.
Oh, we've got some sparking going on.
Do JJ, let me ask you this. What have you, has there been a personal spark for you related to your light language?
Um,
And if I just got a nudge, it's like going, Gerald, you're calling her out and she doesn't want to tell people about this yet. Am I right?
well, I mean, I have been pretty open with so I called my helpers Tutah in the beginning. I asked them what could I call you? And so they said if you have to call us something, you can call us Tutah, which means teacher. And so I think yeah, last year they said I graduated and I was going on to the next thing. And so I still call my helpers Tuta because it means teacher. It's just I've graduated from kindergarten. I am now in first grade with my spirit people and my spirit ways. I started classes on my own, teaching Awakening Your Light Language. I have some classes that are in my Dream Spark book that don't have anything to do with light language, but just about um, our stories and who has written our stories. And yeah,
Great.
and how we can author it and not co author it going forward.
I like
Um, but I have been working with some new guides, and it's all kind of new and exciting for me.
that's great.
Yeah.
I think what's really wonderful I'm a big fan in particular of the image of a spark, because when I am doing readings for people and I am accessing Akashic records and using light language to translate all of that stuff, I see these little bitty sparks on the symbols that I am experiencing on the inner. And
Wow.
that spark connects to a different spark on a different symbol. And so it's really powerful. Are you okay? Did you just get an interesting image?
I'm just dancing. My brain is dancing. My visions are dancing with what you're saying. It's like, oh my gosh, that's beautiful. I love that. Keep going.
So it is very much for me. It's the light language. And for those of you who missed it, in the first conversation, it was like suddenly a realization that Gerald was like going, oh my gosh, these symbols, it's a form of light language.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that has been something that has expanded. And recently, and I think I told you this, JJ, recently, as I've been accessing Akashic records, I see symbols, as I always have, but
Mm-hmm.
now the symbols have little sparks on them,
Mm-hmm.
and they're connecting, and they're allowing me to see the threads and the repetition of lessons or opportunities or things that, and this is even better, things that I just need to connect as part of the reading. So it's really quite neat.
That sounds really fun and creative. And I love how things change for even, like, I've been doing this for 11 years. You've been doing the Akashic for a very long time. And it's breathing fresh air into these modalities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shining Love Light Truth has joined us. And so where Moira asked an interesting question. Where does the term light language come from?
I don't think we've ever answered this question.
I think it
Did
might
we?
have been referenced in the first show, which was 31 episodes ago.
Yeah. Do you have an
So
answer or shall I Google?
I can't remember, but I can say we are going to draw a couple of a couple of names to see if we can get some light language, some, if we could do this. And shall I pull 2 names first, or should I do 3?
Let's do 3.
D Painless. Let us know that you're here. Say hi. Milani, Hypnicity. Say hi. And by the way, these are general readings, so if something comes through and it reaches you, grab it, own it. Sarah Broyles. And okay.
So it like does this slight hesitation and it's like, oh, I won. And it's like, bloop to the next person. I'm like, oh. That's just me. Okay, so we have first spark. We
The
have.
first part, container, and next step.
Okay.
And all 3 of them are here.
Okay. Okay. D pain. Next step. I'm going to do next step. What are you going to focus on for D pain?
I am thinking I'm thinking if you're doing next step, then I can do spark and container because this card is the container.
Okay.
As I because I do use cards to help me connect with my light language. And let me put up Dee's name. And by the way, Cheryl has arrived. Hello,
Hello.
saying hi. Okay.
So deep painless.
Dee, one of the things that I am getting for you is related to there have been a lot of things that are not, the spark is for you. You have this new awareness of things are not always as they appear. And the things that you hear are not necessarily received in the way they are said. There's a bit of translation in this. And what's really important, the spark is, and this is an interesting thing, Deep Painless, is it's an interesting aha moment. It's one of those things like, oh, okay. And then what happens is the container for you, and I'm a big fan of this. I'm going to hold up this image. It is the Eight of Pentacles. It is the if you look at this person is looks like they're riding onto a pentacle, and it's all of that information is swirling around them. The Eight of Pentacles is for you to start exercising this new awareness that everything that you have that you're letting in does go through a bit of a filter. With that, it doesn't make it right or wrong, it just is. And that filter is a powerful thing because what you're learning to do is you're learning how to fine tune the you're focusing better is what it says to me. And Dee said yes.
Okay, so focusing on the next step, I instantly saw like what a pilot would give a little kid on an airplane. Um, I saw something like it was a pin, not a button, but a pin, and it had wings, and I couldn't read what was like the word in between the wings, and yours wasn't like a kid type cheap pin. It was very specific, and it was really thought out.
Mm-hmm.
It was high quality, and if this is like how you put your energy into something, it would be. I want to say I'd be really proud if this is what you put into um, your sparks, your containers, and things in your life. If that's the kind of person that you are, that's beautiful. So I tried to go a little bit further, and I got name it. So putting a
Oh,
name, yeah, putting a name to something, like fill in that word, like put a name to it, fill that word in, giving it wings, like giving it permission to begin. And and then even if you have this beautiful pen and your word on it or whatever you want to give wings to, like if that ends up changing given time, it's okay because now you have this really cool pin that you have this awesome name on, and it's like you can always look back at that and be like, oh yeah, remember that was the spark. That was the spark. That was like the container holding the word, and that was my first step. So I feel like, just like how with Gerald and I and things, you'll get comfortable with things, and then it'll change a little bit, and then you go off to like the next little spiritual adventure. Um, but it said to be okay with it looking different after time, and
Mm.
not that whatever you're dreaming is gonna change, so don't bother. It's like it's gonna change, and then it's gonna be like awesome. Like, just write it down, name it, give it wings. Yeah.
And Dee said, when I'm hyper focused and that is happening, it always does. I
Yeah.
think that's great, and that's really powerful. Um, we had a couple of people who they found out some new information. Bonzo said Google says light language is an energetic form of communication that
Yeah.
bypasses the
The
logic
logical mind.
and speaks directly to the soul.
Boom. Thank you, Google.
And Kaylee said the term light language originated in modern New Age and channeling spirituality during the late 20th century, evolving as a non religious form of glossolalia.
Lalia.
Speaking
Glossolalia.
what JJ said, and Kaylee typed, meant to bypass the logical mind and convey cosmic or energetic frequencies.
Yeah.
So there we go. You're welcome, Dee. Great.
Best of luck.
Mm-hmm. And next we have Nalani.
Okay, Milani.
Oh, and Bonzo's like going, JJ, do you mean thank you, Google, or thank you, Bonzo? Asking for a friend. Can we do thank you both?
Thank you, Bonzo. There you go.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Nalani is all ears. Which
Okay.
one do you want for Nalani?
I'm going to do the next step again, but I feel like they're all connected. So, um,
What? In a light language reading show?
all connected.
Oh my gosh.
And I give permission to anybody out there to name it, give it wings, be okay if it changes eventually.
Yeah. All right. So Nalani. I think part of the spark is actually you already know the spark, and you're the word desperately trying to tend to it came up. What's really beautiful about this is the spark keeps showing up in a couple of different ways. It's shown up, and you sort of noticed it. You maybe captured it, put it into your container. It's almost like it's like a three-part spark. You've got one part, and the other part is going to show up tomorrow, and next week the third part's going to show up, and with that you put those together, and what happens if you have three little sparks, that can actually start a pretty decent fire that you can use to warm things. You could cook. You could forge with that. So I'm interested to see what the first step is.
But if the sparks aren't close enough, though, they have to be, the sparks needs to be close to each other.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because look, it's the three of pentacles. They need to be in close proximity.
Yeah.
Stop separate. Oh, excuse me. It would be advisable for you to put your resources closer together so they can actually work together. Mm-hmm.
You can't start a fire without a spark. That's right, Bonza. The boss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do this in light language because I was having a hard time focusing. Okay. Takoti nana kunama yama kiama shnama kia. Patoto pa eano ko mama kiotiana shna tiama kuyawa. Tino kuna koma ewa shnak yamakya tianka yeshna tianyaka shewa. They're talking about flowers as a metaphor. So I was thinking about the three sparks and them being a little further apart. Tutoma patitoma kushna tiatianaka shnaka yawana kuyawa. You can have like a daisy. You can have a daisy, but I'm looking at the timing of the daisy, and it's not time for there to be seeds that fall, but there's also no roots because of the way that it was chosen. So, really paying attention to the whole picture of something, and the timing of it. If you, it's almost like that saying, they're changing it to teach a village to fish type thing. They're saying teach a village to when they see something beautiful or medicinal, like a flower, to make sure that the roots are attached. Like dig down, get the root, and transplant it in a safe way. It's almost like make sure there's roots so seeds can keep growing and growing. And I have like this kindergarten feel. I'm not sure if you were a teacher, but I feel like you might understand this. Like keep letting the like the future seeds are really important for you,
I like
children,
that.
possibly.
And
I was going to say weeds. I was saying weeds too. And I'm like, well, weeds are really pretty and medicinal.
well, see, and isn't there a philosophical statement that there are no weeds, just misplaced plants?
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and thank you, Nalani. And we have Sarah who's going to round this up for us.
Hmm.
And Nalani said, I loved growing my plants in grade school.
Something about teaching the littles. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure what that means for you, but how fun is that to teach the littles? Even if they're fairies, little fairies. It doesn't have to be little humans, but yeah.
These are really good general readings. So if you're listening and you're hearing something that goes, consider you have our permission to take it as your own reading. So
You know what? When I was going through, like, it doesn't have to be a human or whatever, it could be the fairies. I just want to say that I got like the hybrid children. And then there was sadness when I was thinking about it. So I'm not sure who that's for here, or maybe for all of us, but it's like the hybrid children. Um, and I just feel like I don't know, for some reason there's grief around that feeling, but I'm going to go forward with Sarah. Just had to say that out loud.
Thank you. Sarah, the spark for you is actually some of the emotions that you're experiencing. So that spark is very, very watery. And it's an interesting thing. We have a spark, which can be a bit of fire, and emotions, which are oftentimes looked at as water. And if you pour too much emotion on a spark, you can put it out. And sometimes it's okay to hold some of your emotions and honor them in the container. There's with the spark, there's some settling up and being able to be uprooted or rooted differently to when as creating that container. And that container, it can be as rewarding as the old containers, but this one is fresh and new. Some of us don't get to see or meet our hybrid children all till they're grown, so we miss their whole childhood. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's very much a feeling. This is a spark, and it's a gentle thing. You're starting to have new emotions. Honor those emotions. Don't try to force them to go into the ocean of the emotions yet. Allow them to sit in the bird feeder or the bird bath for a bit. Allow them to understand themselves a little bit. What did you get for the first step?
I was getting, I got the word notes, and it wasn't like, usually I see musical notes or like orchestra type stuff. The, can you see that? The notes were coming through like on a plane or a line like that. I don't know what that means. So, but it's really interesting that it followed. No, okay, I'm not going to go that. Okay. Let's talk about the notes. Tukana chinama kotama for Sarah. The notes for Sarah. Kuna, yeah, what a beautiful thing to put on a journal. Notes for Sarah. Kuna tsetana shnama kuna kiana kuki manu kama kiana tiano kushna iwa. They're just showing me there's this beautiful line art in either pencil or ink, but it's only the white and the dark. There's no other colors to confuse the story or influence the outcome of something. It's almost like when I see this beautiful line art, so pretty. And I almost feel like this beautiful drawing that I'm seeing is almost like it's, in a way, it's almost one line, like almost as if like the journey of life or the journey of like infinity. So if like we think of lifetimes, it's like there's infinity. I just see like it all goes into this beautiful drawing of us. Okay, and um, now I'll talk about the hybrid children because there's a lot of emotion with that. For thank you, Sarah, for allowing me to talk about this for the whole community. Is that tapakumanash natia kama yano mama shnatia okyano tietiano shnatakayiwa makona niyama kuyiwa manona ku manuna nushna tiama kuye patiti ano kushnati ano tano kashna yiwa makuyina tama kuti ano shna yiwa. It's almost like a beautiful way to think about it is we get to be a part of it in some way of the beautiful story of the hybrid children, or possibly the children who stay in the womb for the womb only for this lifetime, or the children who stay for just a short amount of time here outside of the womb. There's We're a part of we're allowed and have the honor of being a part of their story, and then that story also continues on, and we get to be a part of that. The beautiful threads of life, of creation, and it's the loss of what we missed out on is an important part of the story. Especially when there's just a small part that we get to see and experience. There's like this whole big picture that's being painted without us understanding or knowing. But they want us to know that those paintings continue. Um, for all of those stories that we don't get a chance to see. Pa Tutah ma pa koewa anu tiamo pa shna tiama koewa anu tiamo koma esh na tama koewa kai shewa. And they're saying there's like that, whew, there's like that distance of us not knowing the whole story. Kumati tana pako ka tatana huishewa yana taka. And I feel like the notes for Sarah, if anyone out there has a story like this of not knowing the whole story of a child, whether short amount of time in the womb, a short amount of time here on Earth, or possibly one who is here currently and you don't have any um, connection, not because of you. If you understand how I'm saying that, the notes for Sarah, the journal, what an honoring way to like have a journal or a garden for the ones that we know their story continues on somewhere without us. Um, and it's a, like, if it was in a journal or a small garden, like how beautiful that would be to acknowledge those things and just be like, especially with a garden, just be like, look how beautiful this is, and I hope your life is beautiful as well. Oh God.
That's a lot.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for letting me find that.
Sarah did say, I'm writing a tale story, pen on paper, black ink.
Yeah.
And Sarah said, I found the water. It's falling out of my eyes. My tale is a connection between me and their life I will never.
Never get to see. Oh my God, Sarah. I like, that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm going to be feeling this for a while. It's like in my throat. There's like, if I wish everybody with grief could, like, I feel like a lot of people are like, move on from it, you know? And I feel like there's a way to honor and have the garden and have the stories, and um, it's a way for us to go forward in a loving way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if anybody
move
tells
on.
you,
Yeah,
oh, you should be over it and you
no,
should, do
never.
that, tell them to F off and leave you alone, because this is your process and they don't need to put limits where there's not.
Yeah, what a dumb human thing to do is to put limits on things.
Well, and yes. I mean, and this is something that I've been, looking at recently, and the idea of the things that we say where it's the our intent is to be helpful, but the impact is not that.
Yeah.
And how do we switch that? You're welcome, Sarah.
Oh,
And
thank you, Sarah. Oh my goodness.
and Care Bear said, I get the hybrid children are feeling the quaking pain of the birth of their awareness and their abilities to communicate with us. Soon they will realize who they are. Others are ready to launch. Yeah.
That's me launching. That's my noise for that.
So does that mean you're going to be buying all sorts of rocket things off of online, because JJ is going to be an expert in rocket launching.
I shall become a rocket scientist.
JJ, this has been really powerful. Thank you for this.
That was power. I'm so glad that Sarah was the third one. Well, everything was building up to it, but that I was like, oh my goodness, because I've actually had a client I was working on once, and I thought it was so beautiful that her three children came. She had three only in the womb children, and the message that one of the children gave her was, I wanted to have my experience here on Earth, and that was the only. I move so fast that that's the only time that I had. I felt like they were like bing, 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 bing.
And Sarah corrected me. It's spaceships,
Spaceships.
not rockets.
Because knowing me, I would start a fire if I had rockets.
This has been great, and I do want to remind everybody to like and subscribe. And as you go forward, consider what asked for your attention today. Was it the spark, the container, or the first steps? You do not have to create an entire outcome today as we're talking about this first spark. Notice what is beginning and give it the attention it needs. If something from this conversation or reading spoke to you, tell us about it in the comments. Take it, own it. There's plenty of energy around that. Please do us the favor and like and subscribe. Support JJ and Tutah Speaks as well. We will see you the next time, and we will say farewell. Bye, everybody.
Bye.